The truth sinks in slowly, its weight crushing him under its pressure. Every moment he spends in her presence is a painful reminder of everything he's lost. The air between them is thick with tension, and it suffocates him. He can feel the guilt gnawing at his insides, its claws digging into him every time he dares to look her in the eye. She's no longer the woman he thought he had under control, the woman who was once compliant and grateful for the life he gave her. Now, she's a stranger, someone who knows every one of his darkest secrets, someone who's spent years waiting for the perfect moment to tear his world apart. And now that moment has arrived. He can't sleep. Every night, he lies awake in their vast, empty bed, staring at the ceiling, unable to escape the memory of what he's done. Her words echo in his mind like a constant drumbeat, each repetition driving the guilt deeper. He thought he could control her. He thought his wealth and power were enough to keep her in line, to make her bow to him, to make her love him. But he was wrong. And now, he can't escape the fact that she has him exactly where she wants him. Each interaction with her now feels like a battle, one that is losing. There's no longer any tenderness between them. The trust, once a fragile but solid bond, is shattered beyond repair. Every conversation is a confrontation, every glance a reminder of the destruction he's caused. He's haunted by the image of her, the woman he thought was beneath him, now standing tall and strong, holding all the power. The world he's built is beginning to crumble, piece by piece. It starts subtly at first. Small cracks appear in the foundation of his empire. Unexpected losses in the stock market, sudden business decisions turning against him, whispers of dissent among his employees. But soon, it becomes undeniable. His control is slipping. His authority, once absolute, is now being questioned. At first, he tells himself it's just a bad phase, a momentary setback. But the more he tries to cling to the reins of his empire, the faster they slip from his grasp. His business partners begin to back out of deals, his clients turn to other options, and his wealth, once as solid as a fortress, begins to erode in front of his eyes. Every move he makes to salvage his empire feels like a mistake. Every decision is undermined before he can even see it through. His personal life is no better. His once perfect marriage, the cornerstone of his image, is now a source of constant embarrassment. The woman he once controlled, the one who was supposed to be loyal to him, is now a threat to everything he stands for. And it's not just his wealth that's slipping away, his pride is too. The mask he once wore so comfortably has begun to crack, revealing the truth beneath. He's vulnerable, weak, and afraid. Every day is a reminder of his failures. He can't escape it. The more he tries to assert control, the more he loses. And every failure is linked back to her, the woman who's taken everything from him. The empire he built, the life he led, the illusion of power he carefully curated, all of it is falling apart, and there's nothing he can do to stop it. She's no longer playing by his rules. For so long, he believed that he was the one in control, that his wealth and influence could make people bend to his will, that his power could silence anyone who dared to challenge him. But now, she's the one holding the cards. She doesn't need his money, his status, or his approval. She's already taken everything that matters to him, and she's doing it with quiet precision. He watches as she dismantles everything he once held dear, piece by piece. It's not in grand, dramatic gestures, but in the subtle ways she's begun to take control of their world. She doesn't need to shout, doesn't need to assert herself. She's slowly but methodically taking away his power, making him realize that everything he's worked for is meaningless in the face of her quiet strength. She's already taken his heart. He can feel it slipping further away with each passing day. But now, she's taking everything else, too. His wealth, his business, his pride, none of it is safe anymore. She's the one who makes the decisions now, and he's nothing more than a shadow in the life he once controlled. He's become a passenger in his own existence, helpless to stop the changes happening all around him. And it's not just his material wealth that's slipping away. It's his sense of self. She's exposed him for who he really is, a man who built his life on the suffering of others, who took advantage of people to get ahead. She's taken away the illusion of control he so desperately clung to, and now he's left with nothing but the ruins of his own making. In the face of all this, he's becoming desperate. He knows he's losing everything. The empire, the money, the status, it's all slipping through his fingers like sand. And worse, She's still so calm, so in control. It drives him mad. He can't stand the sight of her, no longer as the woman he married, but as a force that's been quietly undermining him from the very beginning. He tries everything to regain control. He apologizes. He begs. He offers promises of wealth, of new beginnings, of a life they could rebuild together. But nothing gets through. She's no longer the person he once knew. She's not interested in his wealth or his promises. She doesn't need anything from him. She already has what she came for, his power, his pride, his life, and she's not giving any of it back. Every attempt to win her back feels more futile than the last. He tries to remind her of the good times, of the love they once shared, but she only looks at him with pity. She doesn't want what he has to offer anymore. She's taken everything she needs from him, and he knows it. He tries to hold on to the remnants of his power, but the harder he clings, the more it slips away. He's become a ghost in his own life, a man haunted by the very things he thought he controlled. And as the walls close in around him, he realizes something chilling. He's never going to get it back. The game is over, and she's won. The penthouse, once a symbol of his power, now feels like a cage. The cold marble floors echo the sound of his footsteps as he paces back and forth, his mind spiraling into a dark, overwhelming whirlpool of desperation. He can hear her in the next room, calm, collected, untouchable. It's as if she's completely unfazed by everything that's happening. His heart pounds in his chest as the realization slowly settles over him. She has won, and he's powerless to stop it. His empire is falling apart, his wealth dwindling away like water slipping through his fingers. He's tried everything to hold on, but nothing has worked. Now, there's only one thing left to do: confront her. The one person who's been silently dismantling his entire life, piece by piece. He knows it's coming. He knows that this is the moment that will decide everything. His hand shakes as he reaches for the door, his breath shallow. Every fiber of his being is telling him to walk away, to run, to pretend it's not happening. But he can't. Not anymore. He has to face it. He opens the door, and there she is, sitting on the couch, her back straight, eyes fixed on him with an almost eerie calmness. She's waiting for him, and in that moment, he realizes how much she's changed. She's not the woman he once knew, the one he thought he could control, the one who needed him. She doesn't need him anymore. The silence stretches between them, heavy and suffocating, as he steps into the room. Every inch of him aches with the weight of his failure, but there's no turning back now. He's at the edge, and everything has led to this moment. You did this, he says, his voice hoarse, his words thick with emotion. You destroyed everything. My life, my work, my reputation, everything I built. I gave you everything. I gave you a life, a future, and this is how you repay me. She doesn't flinch. She doesn't even look surprised. Her gaze remains steady, unwavering. I didn't destroy anything, she replies, her voice calm, almost detached. You did that all on your own. The words hit him like a slap. His jaw tightens, his fists clench, but he forces himself to stay calm, to listen. He can't let her have the upper hand. Not now. Not when he's this close to breaking. You were nothing when I met you, he continues, his voice rising. I gave you everything: money, power, freedom. You were just some poor woman looking for a way out, and I gave you a way in. You think you're so clever now, but it's all because of me. I made you. She stands up, slowly, deliberately. The movement is graceful, calculated. She's not afraid of him, and for the first time, he feels it, the raw, bone-deep fear that comes from realizing you're no longer in control. You think you made me? She asks, her voice soft, but her eyes burn with intensity. You never made me. You never even knew me. You saw what you wanted to see, an opportunity, a tool to get what you wanted. But I was never your pawn, not even when you thought I was. She steps closer, and he takes an instinctive step back, the realization dawning on him with brutal clarity. She's been playing him all along. She's always been one step ahead. The power, the control he thought he held, none of it was ever his. He was just a player in her game. His breath catches in his throat as she speaks again, her words cutting through him like a blade. You think you're the one who lost everything, but you're wrong. You never had anything. You just thought you did. And now it's my turn. The room seems to close in on him as she steps forward, her eyes never leaving his. He can see the change in her, the woman who once cowered beneath his authority now standing tall, exuding power in a way he never thought possible. He's never felt smaller, more insignificant than he does in this moment. Everything he thought he knew about the world, about himself, feels like it's crumbling around him. I did what I had to do, she continues, her voice low and steady. I did what you couldn't. You played your little games, but I played mine too. You thought you could control me, break me, bend me to your will. But I was never going to be a victim. You were. And now, you're reaping what you sowed. The words hit him with the force of a wrecking ball. He tries to speak, to defend himself, but the words won't come. The weight of her truth crushes him. He's spent his entire life manipulating people, thinking he was invincible. But now he sees how fragile everything really was. He thought his wealth, his power, his status could protect him. But in the end, it was all meaningless. She's taken everything from him, his pride, his identity, his control. He thought he could keep everything in order, keep his life intact. But now there's nothing left. No empire to return to, no power to reclaim, no love to hold on to. She's destroyed him. And now, there's no way to rebuild. The silence in the room is deafening, broken only by the sound of his ragged breathing. She's right. He can't deny it anymore. She has won. She's destroyed everything he ever cared about, and now he's left to pick up the pieces of a life that was never really his to begin with. As he stands there, broken and defeated, he starts to reflect on everything that's led him to this point. The arrogance, the pride, the belief that he could control everything. The years of manipulating people, of using his wealth and power as tools to get what he wanted. He sees now how foolish it all was. He thinks back to the beginning, when he met her. She was just another woman, just another pawn to add to his collection. He never saw her as a person, never saw her as anything more than a means to an end. But she wasn't just anyone. She wasn't someone who could be controlled. She was stronger than he ever realized. And now, he's forced to face the truth. He's no longer the man he once was. He's no longer the powerful, untouchable man who thought he could make everyone bow before him. He's a broken man, one who has lost everything, not because of anyone else, but because of his own actions, his own arrogance. The finality of it all settles over him like a heavy weight. There's no going back. He can't undo the past. He can't fix the mistakes he made. And as she walks away, leaving him alone in the ruins of his own creation, he understands the true cost of his greed and arrogance. The life he once had is gone, and he'll never get it back. Closure of the story. What started as a game, a simple display of power and control, ultimately spiraled into devastation. From the moment he thought he could control her, to the twisted dance of manipulation they both played, the stakes kept rising until everything came crashing down. The rich man who thought he could bend the world to his will was faced with a truth he never saw coming. Power, control, and manipulation. None of these things mattered when the real consequences of his actions came to light. In the end, it wasn't just about money or status. It was about pride, the need for dominance, and the cost of assuming that others could be reduced to mere pawns in a game. The woman he tried to control was no longer the helpless figure he once believed her to be. Instead, she took everything he held dear and left him with nothing. Not even the chance to recover. His empire, his wealth, his identity, all reduced to ashes. The life he thought he had built was gone in an instant, destroyed by his own arrogance and the consequences of his own choices. And the question lingers, will he ever recover? Can someone like him find redemption? Or is he doomed to live in the shadow of his guilt forever? What do you think? Can a man like him change? Or is he trapped in the consequences of his own pride and manipulation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe he can rebuild? Or has he lost it all for good? If you enjoyed this story and want more intense, thought-provoking tales like this one, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for future videos. I can't wait to hear what you think. Thanks for watching.